This video is about having difficult conversations, how to get through them, and why they are important for maintaining healthy relationships. If you haven't had a difficult conversation already, chances are as you get older, you're probably going to have one. Reason being is people are just kind of naturally inconsiderate. When I say that, I don't mean that everybody's just a selfish jerk at heart. That's not what I mean at all. What I'm trying to say is everyone has a lot of things going on in their life, and even if they are somebody who really likes to look out for other people, they're more than likely going to end up doing something inconsiderate or having some behaviors that annoy someone else in some type of way, and they're not going to realize. So it's important to have these mature, difficult conversations to kind of give them a nudge in the right direction. And you also have to think that you have to be open to receiving these kinds of conversations as well, because you are human and you are also a person, and you're also probably being inconsiderate at some point in time and you're not even realizing it. The first step in having a difficult conversation is just working up the courage to have that conversation with the other person. So, some barriers to get over would be worrying that the other person isn't going to like you or they're not going to like the subject of the conversation, and that can make it really awkward. The only way to really combat that is to just not care that they're not liking you. You have to just think about the good of yourself and them and your relationship and how it's going to benefit from having this conversation. And then you also have to understand if it's really something important and they're disliking you for trying to help them out, then you can't really control that, and you have to really reevaluate, your relationship with this person, and is it healthy for you to stay in it. Another thing you can do to prepare for the conversation is just make sure you understand what the issue you're having is, what is putting the strain on your relationship, so that you can be direct and you can really articulate your thoughts when you're having the conversation and just avoid being vague in general. And just don't expect a negative outcome. You're just going to psych yourself out, put bad vibes out there, and you're just really going to add to the anxiety, and it's not going to help anybody out. Next, I'm going to give you some steps to having a successful difficult conversation. So, the first of which is going to be to prepare both parties to have the conversation. You don't want to slap the other person in the face with this subject that is definitely going to be uncomfortable and awkward to talk about. So, just prepare them by letting them know that you want to talk and what you want to talk about. And that way, you both can agree on a time and place to talk that's going to be more comfortable for both of you, and it'll feel more like an equal conversation. And to prepare yourself, just like we were talking about, know what you want to say, and so you can be direct and you're not being vague, and make sure you address your feelings as they arise, because if you keep them bottled up, you're just going to end up exploding and the other person's going to feel attacked, and it's not going to be a healthy conversation. The next step is to set up the conversation for success. So be eye level. Try to keep emotion out of your voice, because they're going to focus on that emotion and not what you're trying to say. And it can end up twisting your words or putting words in your mouth, and you're just not going to have effective communication. Leave your assumptions out of it. So make sure when you have a statement, you listen to what they have to say, because it might be contradictory to what you've been thinking, because none of us are mind readers and we don't actually know what's going on until we talk about it. The last thing is to be civil. Don't insult the other party, it accomplishes nothing. Here's some things to remember while having the conversation. Use I statements to avoid blaming the other party, because remember, your goal here is to help them, so you want that to come across in the things that you say, and you don't want them to feel attacked. The next thing is to offer solutions to the problem. And when you're doing this, avoid using exaggerating words like always, never, forever, and nothing. So don't say you never do this or you always do that. Just offer some solutions to the problem that you're having. And remember that you're trying to have an effective and healthy conversation. So you're not trying to be derogatory in any way. Don't interrupt them when they're speaking. Remember, you came here to talk to them. So obviously, you value what they have to say, and understand what they have said before you respond. And that goes back to what we were saying about leaving your assumptions out of it. So just make sure you're really listening to what they have to say, and it's going to make them feel more comfortable opening up to you, and it's going to lead to a more productive and fruitful conversation, and hopefully a change in the behavior that you're trying to see. I actually have to have a difficult conversation with my friend. I don't think she knows, but her breath smells really bad, like all the time. I think she might be offended if I tell her, but I also think it would be better for both of us if she knew. I'm kind of tired of smelling it, and I think it might be medically related. I think in the end, she'll appreciate me telling her. So I'm going to prep for the conversation. Hi, Milkshake. How you doing? So I just want to talk to you about your breath. Like I can smell a little bit right there.
Are you free now? Can I talk to you now? Should I come back? Oh, you're free right now? For sure.
Then I'm going to set up the conversation for success, and I'm going to listen to the other person.
Oh, it's just been smelling a little bad lately, and I just want to know if you needed to see a doctor or if it's, mental health related. What's going on? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're a dog and you don't have thumbs, so you can't brush your teeth. Gotcha. That's a very valid reason.
Finally, I'm going to offer solutions.
I think maybe I could help you out with that. I could get you some dentist sticks or some greenies that you could chew on. Does that sound good? Yeah, that sounds like a solution we could try. Okay, well, we'll try it out.
Here's an exercise that you can do with a group of people to practice having difficult conversations. Break up into pairs, choose 2 difficult conversation topics to the right, and then there's also another slide after this with more difficult conversation topics. Person A has 2 minutes to initiate and lead a difficult conversation with person B about the topic person B has selected. Then person B will have 2 minutes to have a difficult conversation with person A about the topic person A has selected. So just go ahead and pause this video and choose some of these bullet points if you feel like you want to go ahead and do this exercise. Here's some more difficult conversation topics. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video. This video is made by UNLV Outdoor Adventures. We are part of the Student Recreation and Wellness Center. Check out our website at unlv.edu/srwc and check out all of the super fun things at Outdoor Adventures website at unlv.edu/campusrec/outdoor-adventures.